his trademark and about the coolest thing I'm ever going to do in my life. I first heard the name Albert King in a guitar magazine interview with Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie was my very first guitar hero. He was my very first guitar hero and a true champion of the blues greats who had inspired him. He was selfless when it came to mentioning his influences. Most of the blues guys were. Here's how it worked. You'd hear Eric Clapton mention Freddie King, and off you went like a musical private investigator in the search for your hero's hero. Stevie's hero was Albert King. When I learned that, I knew I had a lot of listening to do. I'll never forget the day I asked my dad to drive me to the record store to find this Albert King. Now remember, it wasn't like the iTunes store is today where you can just click on an artist's name and see all 62 and a half records. You got what the record store had. Occasionally they do this thing called a special order, which takes about 6 to 8 months to get the record. And if the spine of the cassette tape had the name of the player you were looking for, that was good enough. Not songs, not the album title, you just find the guy. I bought the only 2 tapes they had in the rack. I'll play The Blues for You and The Blues Don't Change. And I listened and I played along with them and to them in my room for literally months. The Blues Don't Change moved me so much that I paid tribute to it in my very first published work, my 1995 Fairfield High School senior yearbook write-up. Let's take a look at that. Well, I guess we don't have it, trust me. For the magic of television, I'll say there it is. Oh, here it is right here. Well, that's about fitting for my high school yearbook write-up. But it says down here, if you can pull it really tight, it says right here, let's go, The Blues Don't Change, Albert King. Woo! What happened to that boy?
What happened to that boy?
You think you got it all figured out? When most kids my age were writing what a long, strange trip it's been and sending coded messages of love and affection to their beer bombs, I simply quoted one of my favorite Albert King tunes. In Connecticut, Blues Don't Change. 17-year-old, well-taken-care-of kid from the suburbs, quoting a guy who once said he'd slept in houses so run down that he could see the night sky from his bed. I started thinking the other day, where did this kid get the balls to write The Blues Don't Change? And then I realized that what he must have felt from that line wasn't so much that the blues don't change, but that they won't change. And they'll be there when it's his turn to play them.
Woo!
There's an IOU to everyone in my life, co-signed by the master himself. My dreams of playing the blues for a living came true, sort of. I may not have played Born Under a Bad Sign or Crosscut Saw night after night, but the blues is in every undercurrent of the music I write and play, and the way I hold the guitar neck, and the way I bend the strings. Albert King's influence is forever embedded in my playing. To understand the Albert King style, however, you have to get a sense of the other styles of playing at the time. When it comes to blues guitar, every player bends a note differently. It's literally as unique as a fingerprint. Timo Walker bent the note like this. Kyle is so funny. Tuesday's just as bad. And then B.B. King came along. B.B. King did. And then Albert King came along. It was muscular, it was intense. It's why the guitar bass was invented. You bend that note with every ounce of energy you have, and if you lose your face in the deal, so be it. Albert's playing could go from stately and composed to down on his knees begging, please. his head. It just kind of stops time and catches air. Makes you hear the band chug underneath it. Jimi Hendrix did it in Machine Gun. Eric Clapton did it on Strange Brew. Stevie Ray Vaughan did it most faithfully on David Bowie's Let's Dance. It's everywhere. Albert's guitar licks are the unofficial addition to the pentatonic blues scale. Every blues-loving guitar player knows how to plug that Albert King thing into their solos. Albert King is the very definition of a cool cat. He didn't have any gimmicks. He didn't go through experimental phases, no different eras, no dramatic shifts of style, no chronology, great part debate with your friends. He just got to the essence of what he wanted to say and stayed right there. He wore a suit, went on stage with his trusty flying V, and he played. It was like that promise he made that was so sexual it sounded a little bit like a threat. I'll play the blues for you. It would be several years later before I got my hands on a copy of the classic Born Under a Bad Sign, recorded the legendary Booker T of the MGs. Everything about it was right. It's a perfect blues album. It sounds live, but recorded with care. It's arranged, but there's room for raw stuff that can and certainly does happen. It's got burning guitar playing, but it's seated inside the tapestry of the band and Albert's often underappreciated vocals. It's a magical album, and it's as cool as a flying V in a well-tailored suit. Albert King died a year after I started playing the guitar. I started playing in 1991, he died in 1992. It would be 2 more years before I would hear that first note of his ringing out. I remember at that time not knowing if he was alive, not being able to look it up anywhere, not really thinking too much of it. I was too young to go see him anyway. But I knew he was alive in his music, and the music of those who inspire. He's alive in the music of the guitar players he continues to inspire, and I know he's alive here tonight. It's my honor and my great privilege to induct the legendary Albert King.